This is such a tough story. Back with us is Judge Elizabeth Shera, Jacqueline Goodman, and Jarrett Ferrantino. I mean, it almost sounds like a movie script, Jacqueline. Murder by poison is extremely rare, and it shows premeditation, of course, eliminating the usual defense of, heat of passion or self-defense. So let's step back. What could Kouri Richins' defense possibly be? There seems to be so much evidence against her. What does she have?
Well, I mean, her claim is that she didn't do it, that she's not the one. And so, identity of the perpetrator is always an issue. In her case, it's the issue, really. There is, as you indicated, some challenges for her. She has prescriptions for the drug that was ultimately believed to be the catalyst for the death of her husband. And all of the other aspects that you just described, the insurance policies, the love affairs, the financial straits. There's even text messages between the two of them where they're, arguing, and those text messages still exist in there in the hands of the prosecutor. So there are challenges for sure, but this is a case where it's about reasonable doubt. If the prosecution can prove every single element, including identity of the perpetrator, then, they've got their conviction. But it's always going to be the defense perspective that there's some reason for doubt, and that doubt is not unreasonable. And in this case, really, they haven't put together exactly the connection for how and when she did this. And I think that that's really what the defense is going to hang their hat on.
Jarrett, her lawyer said in the preliminary hearing regarding the supposed first time Kouri tried to poison her husband with a spiked sandwich on Valentine's Day, quote, "You have to claim that Mr. Richins was poisoned on February 14th, 2022. There is no medical evidence." So when we take a look at that, I mean, it's just, like I said, I mean, it feels scripted, but it's not. This is real life. And then there's the internet searches, which we want to get to. So, Jarrett, what do you say about that?
That would come in potentially in the prosecution, Laura, as a prior bad act. The conduct that's alleged there is that essentially she laced a sandwich that he took with him to work. He said in a text message, "I think my wife is trying to kill me."
Right.
That happened on Valentine's Day. I mean, there's a special place in hell for poison. It's the modus operandi. She poisoned something that he is going to imbibe, that she knows he's going to imbibe, his favorite drink, his sandwich. Her level of intent is so strong. She never walked away from this thing. That is very powerful evidence, and it's coming in.
Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these internet searches that she made, and that's obviously has been brought in and talked about. If we can put that up, we'll show you some of the things that she looked at online. Luxury prisons for the rich in America. Can cops force you to do a lie detector test? Death certificate says pending. Will life insurance still pay? How long does life insurance companies take to pay? How to permanently delete information from an iPhone remotely? What is a lethal dose of fentanyl? Wow. I mean, wow. Judge, I'll toss that to you. When you take a look at that, where are both sides going to go with that one?
I mean, you have to wonder what kind of normal person in their everyday life conducts these types of searches. But coincidentally, a person who is then accused of murdering her husband with the very same substance that she's searching up on the internet, which is fentanyl, this definitely does not bode well for her. And I will say that I believe the very telling evidence in this case is the fact that her husband seems to have known this was coming. All of his assets he had placed in a trust in his sister's name. He had confided in his friend that he believed his wife was trying to kill him. It seems that there was more to it than just her having an affair and them having money problems. It seems that based on some of the husband's statements and actions that he knew something was not going right.
Right, and you have to wonder, I mean, if they were having those kind of problems, I mean, these are things that, most married couples that are having problems aren't dealing with. Why there wasn't a move out, I mean, obviously, and they have young kids too, and your heart goes out to these children and to the family members, and you heard it there during the hearing. It was just very difficult, and moving forward, she is going to trial.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.